Well, good evening, and welcome again to the 2012fad.com. I will be your host this evening. My name is Charlie Bluehawk. Last night we talked about what love isn't, staffing the village. And I shared with you a very personal experience I had here in Europe with my true soulmate, and how I was showed quite bluntly that love is not what we think it is, or rather what it should be, at least not on this world of ours, not in this time, and certainly not in any human culture that I'm aware of at the moment. Maybe that is why Earth is considered a prison planet. We have been put here for some reason. I mean, man has lived on this little world now for 2.5 billion, that's billion with a B, years, and yet every 32,000 years this planet is flipped end for end, and civilization has to restart. I mean, we must have done something really awful to have been put here. But tonight, I thought we would chat about the universe in general terms. The title of this episode, As Above, So Below, it's a very ancient belief in magic. Whether you believe in such things or not, whether you believe in good or evil as a way of life, it just happens to be true. Whatever is happening above us in the universe is also happening right here in front of our eyes. And it's also happening below us, literally at the atomic level, below us as in smaller. Basically, what we're talking about is what the universe is. The universe is electrical in nature. The universe is an electrical generator surrounding us. And in the vacuum of space, in the emptiness of space, is pure energy. Energy that we can easily tap and use, more electrical energy than we could ever possibly need for anything. We could use this free electrical energy to power our cars, light and warm our homes, or use it to go to the stars. Our masters? They're already there. Well, the smarter ones are. Yes, the masters have the same problems we have. 98% of the masters are morons, just like 98% of their cattle, us, are morons. Of course, with them, they have more power to do more physical harm than the morons in your neighborhood or where you work. And the masters know all about free energy. And of course, in media, the term free energy is a euphemism for my aren't you stupid. How could anything be free? How could you possibly believe that anything is free? Something has to die, something has to burn, the planet has to be fouled just so you can have your electrical blender and your washing machine. No, not really. Our masters also know that free energy is not free, but that it does exist. You see, the universe, as we mentioned earlier, is actually nothing but an electrical generator, a computer. And you and I, we live inside of it. We are part of it. I'm not saying somebody made it. I'm just saying that's just the way it is. You and I are electrical generators. You and I are electrical receivers and broadcasters. You and I are actually walking, talking, living parts of a living computer that are part of this earth. Again, I'm not saying anybody built it. I'm just saying that's the way nature sort of arranged us. Now, if you and I are parts of a living computer, sharing information, you and I are bits of information, passing information back and forth constantly, and we're part of the earth. What's the earth? Well, the earth is part of a computer. That is our galaxy. And our galaxy is part of a computer that is the universe. Above that, my poor little broken brain just can't go that far. I'm stretching it as it is. But if you want to hear real experts talk about the electric universe, go to this website. It's www.thunderbolts, THUNDERBOLTS.info. www.thunderbolts.info. The two gentlemen there, David Talbot and Wallace Thornhill, are absolutely amazing to listen to. They will explain the universe to you in ways that you never dreamed possible. Our universe, well, is vast, putting it mildly, but it's very simple. Again, our masters need to reduce our place in the universe to less than nothing. you and me must be less than nothing. So it makes you easier to control if you don't believe you have any place in the universe. Which gets us back to you and me, walking, talking radio stations. We're sending and receiving information to each other constantly, and most of it is completely unconscious. You and I, passing this information back and forth between each other, we do it by speaking, obviously. But what is not so obvious is that we are actually transmitting and receiving gigabytes of information every second when we're just around each other. Now, this is done in a variety of different ways. Forward speech, which we're doing now, which we all know about. But have you ever heard of reverse speech? Did you know that while you're talking, you're actually having two conversations? One of them is forward, which we're conscious and aware of at this moment, and one is backward. I know it's bizarre. There are two major consciousnesses of your body. We actually have three major consciousnesses inside of all of us. They used to be called in the West the id, the super id, and the ego. In China, for the last 100,000 years, they refer to it as the primary chakras. We'll cover all of that later, but right now we're only dealing with the two of the three major consciousnesses of our body. For the sake of argument, we'll just say forward speaking and reverse speaking because it gets way too complicated. Anyway, as you and I are having this conversation now, we're actually having a second conversation, but it's actually happening backwards. We're not consciously aware of backward speech, thank God. But there is an Australian gentleman by the name of David John Oates. Go to his website, www.reversespeech.com, ReverseSpeech.com, reversespeech.com. Now, this gentleman, Mr. David John Oates, has studied this phenomena, if you will, for years. And it is, again, one of those things you don't have to take my word for to believe in or to check. You don't have to listen to anybody else except yourself. They used to sell old-fashioned tape recorders, hand recorders, where actually had tape. And Sony in particular had one that would play and record backward and forward and had adjustable speed playback. Go online, go to eBay, find one, buy one, take it home. Then, without telling anybody, don't trap anybody in super secrets or anything, just have a regular conversation with your friends. Then, while your friends are there, play your conversation backwards and slow it down slightly. And then you decide for yourself. Which gets us to the part of our conversation where we say, okay, so what? Well, let's figure it out. The universe is electrical in nature. What does that have to do with me, with you, with anything? The universe is out there, and we're down here. What does it have to do with us? Everything. Since we, you and I, are actually a part of the universe, and since the universe is electrical, and since we are electrical, it means that we, each of us, actually is the universe. We're part of everything.